Hi everybody, this is Kristen from A Voice and a View, and I'm sorry my screen is so dark, but I'm relying on the outdoor lights right now. I couldn't do the video earlier, so I don't have the lighting that I need, but bear with me on this one. So today's healing lesson is called You Are Powerful, and I'm going to start out the video saying where energy goes, energy flows. Okay? And basically that means your attention. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Okay? Your energy is everything, and your thoughts are powerful. Everything about you is powerful because you are a divine being. You are a child of God, and you have abilities. And you're not just down here to live your life and, do the day-to-day. You are more powerful than you realize. And your thoughts, your negative thoughts, your positive thoughts, all of those visuals that are pushed out into the world through your thoughts, you are creating that world. You are creating all the time. Creating everything around you just by what you think. And, well, not just what you think, but through your actions, your words, but in all aspects, you are powerful. So you have to be very careful on what you're focusing on. And I mentioned in one of my last videos, I gotta turn my heat down, that if you can, avoid paying attention to what's going on out there as much as possible. And I want to change that to pay attention to what's going on out there in the world. There's a reason why it's being pushed out there, so you can see it. Okay, what I was trying to say is that it's important to see what's going on, but not to internalize it. Okay, stay the observer. Don't create your world from all of that, all the negative out there. It's very important that you pay attention to what's going on, but don't make it your life. Don't make all of that become you. Don't internalize that fear. Excuse me. Don't take all that in and think, this world is just in shambles, and it's just going to get worse, and stay out of that mind frame. See what's going on out there, but also create your own world. Stay in the positive as much as you can. Join a gym or start snowshoeing, get outside in the outdoors and, start a hobby that you've never tried. You have to separate yourself from everything negative out there. And this is very important because you're going to create that world if you focus on it. And be careful of your words, because the universe listens to everything you say. God, the universe, source energy, God is all energy. And everything is listening to you. So at the same time as paying attention to what's happening around you, you also have to pay attention to what you're doing, to focus. Are you focusing on all the negative? Or are you focusing on the opposite and more of the positive? But at the same time, you have to realize that you have to do both. Because the more you see, the more you awaken. The more you realize all of the lies that have been told to you, all the manipulation and corruption that's happening out there in the world. All that is helping you to awaken to what the truth is. And it's ugly. But it's important for you to see all of that. But at the same time, it's also important for you to get away from it all. You have to learn to separate the energy out there from the energy you're putting out into the world. Okay? You have to focus on both. But not to create your world from all of that. Okay? We're moving into a better age. We're moving into the golden age. We're in transition. So, very important to see it. But at the same time, distract yourself from it. Okay? And I've mentioned this before about people making comments on social media. Okay, right now, they're trying to distract you in any way possible and to get you to fight about everything. Okay? Are you a Republican or Democrat? They're trying to get you to fight each other. Because if they can do that, they don't have to do it themselves. It's a tactic, guys. It is a manipulation tactic. What better way to keep you at low frequency, okay, and to stop you from realizing how powerful you are, than to get you to fight with someone else? To get you to make comments about someone else on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. And get in a conversation that's really negative and causing harm to others. And what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of those comments, guys, are bots. They're not even real accounts. They're not real people. They're trying to get you to fight. I mean, I used to be on those garage sale sites, mainly on Facebook. You post something to sell, and the next thing you know, you've got someone saying, "Yeah, I want it. When can I come over?" Or something along those lines, and then they'd never show up. Or you'd get the same comment over and over and over again every time you try to sell something. Okay? Those aren't real accounts. Everything out there is trying to piss you off right now on purpose. You have to see it for what it is. Everything out there is trying to distract you from yourself, from looking at yourself, from seeing that you are important here at this time, at this changeover, at this transition that we're all going through. And you're needed here. But if your focus is constantly negative and focusing on this protest over here and fighting with that Democrat or fighting with that Republican, or saying that you're better than them, or dumb Democrats or dumb Republicans, or, you know, and, you know, with other political stuff, they're keeping you at a low frequency, guys, on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to get you to focus on anything negative, anything for you to fight, and to cause chaos, and to cause the domino effect of chaos. Okay, if you go down and read comments under someone's posting, and it could be just a simple, innocent posting, but you always have those comments that either purposely want to make you upset, or it's a comment that won't make any sense. You know, somebody will say, "Why did you make that posting? You're being so rude, and how can you be like that?" A lot of times, guys, those are fake accounts. I mean, this was a big awakening for me with the comments. And once I realized that, it made so much sense from everything that I had learned before that. Okay, about, you know, how they're trying to get you to fight, how they're trying to keep you distracted from what you need to be doing is looking within yourself to heal yourself. Because when you do that, the world changes around you, and you create a domino effect with everybody else because you're changing your frequency. Your frequency is addictive. When you raise your frequency, when you heal internally from all your trauma and wounds, like I've said many times, open up your chakras, balance your energies out, look at your trauma through meditation, look at your wounds one by one, cry them out, do it through your tears, through your emotions, okay, and let it go. And you do that one at a time. That's how you heal. This is what I've done for myself. It's what I learned on my own. It stops triggering you from everything you see out in the world happening. Okay? It won't trigger you every time you see something. You'll get to a point where you're like, whatever, you know. You don't let it bother you. But it's important to know that when you start making comments on social media, your words are powerful. And you're creating karma for yourself. It dominoes onto others, all the negativity. Okay, your thoughts are powerful, your words, your actions, all of that. When you heal enough, your frequency becomes very high. And you start manifesting in the world, guys. You start bringing things to life just by your thoughts, your words, and actions. Or you can bring things in with very little effort. That's how powerful you can become when you raise your frequency. Just like a radio station, okay? Works off of frequency. We also work off of frequency. And if you're working from the lower chakras, you are in low frequency. But you're creating your world. You're creating everything. And right now, more than ever, we are trying to transition out of this negativity, out of all the dark energy out there. We're trying to move into the positive energy. And energies are being balanced out right now, out there. That's why you see so much chaos. When you put energy out into the world through your thoughts, actions, and words, that comes back to you. And when you keep making comments all over social media, negative comments about this person, that situation, you know, that political party, that you're keeping the cycle going, guys. Ignore the comments on there. You know, if you're making comments trying to wake people up, that's one thing. And do it in a respectful way. But if you're doing it in an egotistical way or a negative way, trying to hurt someone's feelings or thinking you're right no matter what, you're creating karma for yourselves. And that karma's real, guys. It is so real. You got to be careful on what you do. You are so powerful, you have no idea. We have all created everything in the world through our thoughts, actions, and words. And this is where we're at right now. And the way we switch and transition into the age of Aquarius, which we've already done, we're just in a middle stage, going from one age to the other. But the way we do this is by positivity, okay? Creating good for ourselves. Getting out there and creating a good world for yourself. Start something new. Make a difference in someone's life. Help others. Not just pay attention to what's happening out there, but at the same time, create your world, what you want to see in the world. You know, get out there and help someone in some way. You know, it's not going to be about that me mentality anymore. We're moving into a time of helping others. But I just want to mention that you got to be real careful on what you say. You know, stop gossiping about others. Because your words are powerful, guys. That's spell work. You can harm someone by what you say about them. Because we're all connected. We are all a collective. We are all a divine collective. And the example I give to understand this is when someone yawns, everyone else yawns around them for the most part. And everybody's like, you know, gosh, that's a mystery to everybody, right? Why does that happen? You know? Nobody ever has an answer for it. But it's because we're all connected in the spirit, guys. Our souls are all connected. We're all children of God, and that means we're all connected. Which means we're powerful. And our beliefs are, you know, everything that we push out into the world to not only push on ourselves, but to others, we are creating. And whether that is a negative or a positive is up to you. And if you want to see the world change, start making a difference somewhere in your life. Start making a difference in your own life, with yourself, through self-love, through taking care of you. in any way that means for you, and start taking care of others, doing good for them, helping them when you know they need it, helping a family member, helping someone else if they get stuck out there in the snow, or if you have the tools to help them, help them. Just by your actions, you will create energy from that, and whether that's good or bad, that comes back on you. So I know I would much rather put good intentions out there than the opposite energy, because I know that that's not just going to come back on me as good dharma, okay? But it's also helping that person, and that domino effects. You know, maybe that will inspire them to do something for someone else. If they see someone else out there that needs help, they're like, oh yeah, you know, this person did this for me, and pay it forward. Just like that one movie with that little kid, Pay It Forward. I don't remember what the name of it, or the kid's name. I don't remember his name, but that movie was really good. We are all powerful. And if you don't think you're important here at this time, you are so wrong. You wouldn't be here right now if you weren't important, because we are at a critical time of transition. And you might be awake to this, you might not be awake to this, but it's important to know this information, because awareness is key. You are here for a reason. You're here for a higher purpose. You know, start learning information, start paying attention to what's going on, start getting out in nature and finding God. Start asking questions, have a conversation with God and what your purpose is. Ask Him to show you the way. But you're here for a purpose right now. And everything you do is powerful. And I'm on here because I want you to be aware of this information right now. It's especially important with what's going on. There's so many out there trying to help. There's so many out there trying to make you aware of this information, of the transition, of your abilities, and what you bring to the table. And the more people that are aware of this, the more we can change, the more it will domino. And others will awaken, and others will make positive choices. And create the new world. We're leaving the old and changing over to the new. And the more people that know, the better off we'll be. But it's so important right now to be aware of this information. And what you do, just you, not just everybody else, but just you, and how powerful you are in everything you do. Your positive actions, from your thoughts, your words, your behaviors, in every way, are extremely important right now. So I wanted to just remind people of that, remind all of you who's ever struggling out there. And if you think you're not here for a purpose, if you think you're all alone and that you don't have anyone, okay, ask your angels for help. They're always there around you to help you. They're very real. You just can't see them. Call on them. But everyone needs to know how important your thoughts, your words, and your actions are at this time, during this changeover. And it's so hectic out there. It's so chaotic. Trying to keep informed about this, that, and the other thing out there and in your own lives. But especially pay attention to what you bring to the table, what you're putting out in the world, what you're doing for others, what comes out of your mouth, the thoughts that you're having, not just for others, but for, towards yourself. Switch your thinking. Say, I am not my thoughts. I am my heart. Okay, it's a very powerful statement. I am not my thoughts. I am my heart. Your heart chakra. Okay, your ego compared to your heart. Your ego is going to try to get you to do things, say things, act out. Okay, I'm better than anybody. I know everything, Your ego is kind of like your it's kind of like your devilish thoughts, guys. And love always wins. But know that all the thoughts that come into your head may not be your thoughts, guys. You could be spiritually attacked. It's very real. If you wonder why am I obsessing about this, or why am I thinking about that constantly? I don't understand. You could be spiritually attacked. It's very real. I've been through it many times. I get it. Call your power back. You are a powerful being. Call your power back. Say, I am calling my energy back to me. Okay, because we all have energy signatures to us. Everything is energy. We all have energy signatures to us. And if you're not calling your power back, you're giving away your power. But you have to balance out your ego and your heart. Okay, you gotta do this shadow work. Open up your chakras, balance your energy out, work your way up through all of your 7 chakras to try to get to the higher energy through your heart chakra. Okay, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, your crown chakra. Okay, those are the heavenly energies compared to the devil energies in your lower half of your body. And once you start balancing your energy out, you will be more in control of your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors. But right now, more than ever, you are powerful, and you need to realize how powerful you are. And what you choose to create the new world with, it's up to you. But now more than ever, we need good choices from everyone. We need change out there. Everybody sees what's going on out there. We need change. We need people to make good decisions, good comments, good choices, good actions to help with us transitioning. And to stay positive as much as possible. Okay? So that's my lesson for tonight. And like I said, guys, just being aware of this information will help you. Because awareness is a big key to this great awakening journey, to this ascension process. And the more you understand and learn, the higher the frequency you will attain. And you can manifest so many good things in your life. Because you will come into the abundant energies through the higher chakras. It's like you attract, okay? You attract in positivity to your life in every way. We don't force, we attract. And your energy is powerful, whether you believe it or not. So start your healing journey if you haven't started already. Again, open up your chakras. Learn about the chakras, guys. And you do this through meditation, through the power of the mind. And you can open up parts of your mind, your brain, that you never knew you could access. But meditation is a big key to this as well. And the more you meditate and the more you learn about the I am affirmations and being out in nature and grounding and all these things that I teach, the more you do these things, the higher the frequency you will attain. And you will start attracting abundance into your life. Learn about this stuff so you're not attracting in from the lower energies. You're not attracting in fear and struggle, all the negative energy. And attract the goodness into your life. And learn. Learn about this stuff. Look up information. The more you learn, the higher your frequency, guys. The more you do, the more you create from that energy, and the more positive things will come back to you. It's very important at this time. So, okay, guys, what am I at? Oh, look at that. 333. 333 again, guys. My last video was 333. I saw 333. That is the Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay, when you start raising your frequency, you're going to start seeing double numbers, triple numbers, because everything is math. Everything is numbers. The universe is made up of math. And you will, once you start seeing those 3-digit numbers, you could be seeing triple, whatever. You'll see numbers everywhere. But 333 is the Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And I just had that same number. I saw that same number on was my last video or the video before that. Looked up and saw 333. 33 minutes and it was like 34 seconds or something like that. But you'll start seeing numbers everywhere. And look them up on YouTube. Those are messages. Those are your angel numbers. trying to help you understand your path. But that's another aspect of this journey. But when you start raising your frequency through this process, one of the first numbers that you will see is 1111. And that means new beginning. It's the new beginning to your life, to your new path on this ascension journey. But, okay. Every time I say the video's done, I keep going. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a great night. And this is Kristen from A Voice and a View. Peace, love, and light. Love you all. Bye.